That was my tail gonna roll. Johnny McGee was a high school teacher from New Orleans. He had my back through the day we left. And if it looks like we're scared today, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, should have seen it in color. And I'm peculiar, so I wake in my eye, step outside, and I take a deep breath, get bell high, and I scream top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 hey. You can't stop us on our own freedom. You can't keep us, 'cause our eyes can see. Men with inside, men with granite, knots and armor inside, chivalry. She's a sweet stupid honey. She's an angel from the first degree. She's sweet, stupid honey, just like honey, baby, from the bees.
I've been trying to get Donna to let me borrow his hair for a weekend or so, but he wants too much right now, but we negotiate still. Hey, how about this guy, huh? I mean, that's amazing. He just turned 18 years old. Think about what I was doing when I was 18. Ray, I know what you was doing when you was 18. We have some speakers that are kind of coming in right now. They're on the road, and so that's why we kind of postponed it a little bit. So just sort of bear with us a little bit. This is the part of the veillée where we have our 3-minute speakers. And, you know, veillée, for those who didn't come the first time, it's a little French word I grew up with. It's sort of equivalent to shooting the breeze. And we use it a lot. And I just thought it was appropriate for this space and the stage and the importance of going back to shooting the breeze. So I'm glad y'all came out. This is our second one. The way it works is that I sort of go out into the community and just meet some really good friends. I'm looking for just different cultures and just villages and just different areas where people are just living their life in Acadiana, and I'm sure meeting some really fascinating folks out there. Y'all gonna see a few tonight. And the idea is that when I invite the speakers, you know, if we're doing the math right, is I'll get 4, 5, 6 speakers. If they bring 8 or 10 folks with them, and they from different cultures everywhere, then guess what? We got 50, 60, just like today, a great mixed, beautiful crowd. And that's sort of the baseline root system that I'm trying to do here. So it takes a minute to understand what I'm trying to do here. My neighbors thinks I have lost my mind, so I appreciate y'all not thinking that right now. But anyway, I just think the world needs it, and there's a lot more like-minded folks out there that is feeling the energy as well, so let's keep it going. My little quick 2.5-minute speech is, you know, we're all products of how we were raised. Either our parents or lack of, but that's what we are. All the little stories we tell ourselves, all the things that we become in our views. I personally feel like I'm in sort of an illusion, and my illusions sort of break out the more I start researching. I kind of call myself a little researcher right now. My kids left the house. I got to find something to do. My golf game's horrible, so why not build a coffee house and research, right? So anyway, one of the things I read recently, Dr. East wrote a book Creoles of South Louisiana. And if y'all don't mind, I'm going to read a little excerpt here. There's no way I would have memorized this, but kind of deep, but bear with me. This was in her book. This was an unknown scholar who wrote this. Ethnic identity is not a thing outside the self-imposed acculturation, nor is it an automatic consequence of descent. Rather, it is a dynamic mode of self-consciousness, a form of selfhood, reinterpreted or reinvented generationally in response to changing historical circumstances. So that was a lot right there, but you know, what I took from that is, and this was under what is a Creole, they was trying to define what a Creole was. A very complex question, right, Miss Phebe? Very complex, but what I got out of it is similar to what we have today. You know, we try to preserve a lot of our heritage, but the truth is, time's moving on, and we have all these beautiful blends. And you know, my kids really they interested in it, but they're more interested in the today's blending on what's going on. And so I recognize that, and I think it's good. And you know, he's not here. He's going to be speaking tonight. He's a guy that I work with. His name's Smurf. I don't know his real name. But he's a black Creole from Maurice, and I can't wait to hear from him. But he was here drinking coffee with me, and we were, it came up about, it always gets somewhere along the line on how we was raised or whatever. And he's like, I was taught not to see color. And I see where he was coming from. You know what I mean? I do. I see where he was coming from, because that's a nice way of saying I was raised not to be prejudiced. But what I'm going to encourage everybody here is I want everybody to see color. See it. Look at it. Look at the different physical characteristics of each other. Look at it. Stare at it. You know, all the accents and dialects and the dresses and the styles and the things that we're all about. You know, but lean into it a little bit and be curious. Now, some of us, you know, need to go to charm school and maybe self-awareness school, and need to, you know, because they ask sometimes inappropriate questions or whatever. But if it comes from a good heart, and that's where it has to come from. You have to bring it because you're truly interested, and it's a state of mind. Okay, and if we do it, if we all do it, then I just feel as though, man, you just get so much more out of it. Clap your hands if y'all agree with that right there. So yeah, just a focused interest and curiosity with a good heart and mind. I want to make sure I got that down. And that's what this is all about, is just to sort of learn about each other a little bit, enjoy it, celebrate it. You know, when we get a little bit better at this Viat thing, I was just talking to Fernando. You know, we want each culture to bring in their cuisine. So when we hear, we might say, you know, Fernando has this magnificent Cuban dish that he's breaking out on us, and we're going to let him tell us all about it and what, you know, what it comes. So sort of lean into it. Y'all going to see Phanat tonight. He's awesome. I did a podcast with him. He's not trying to make everybody follow Buddha or do anything like that. He's just something really cool. So it all adds in. I'll leave y'all with my favorite quote in the world, and that is, it's a simple one. It's change the way you view the world, and the view of the world will change. And so let's keep that. All right, with that, Miss Emma, who do we have up first? I think it's Miss Phoebe Hayes. This is the Queen of New Iberia, y'all.
The Queen of New Iberia? Hello, can you hear me in the back? Okay, can you hear me in the back? No? Oh, talk louder.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can maintain this.
All right.
Bring it up.
First, I want to say thank you all so much for thank you, Bob, your family, for inviting me to participate. This is the first time I've ever experienced something like this, and I'm so grateful. Poor Bob, he called me so many times to convince me to come, and I was always, and I didn't make it up, and he knows it. I was always either in New Orleans or somewhere else doing something, and it just never worked out. But the good thing about this gentleman is that he's very persistent, and I appreciate you. The other good thing that I noticed is that it's not just one person in a family who thinks, you know, inclusively, thinks in terms of we're all God's children, but it seems as if the family that I've met, his daughter, his wife, they're all kind of on the same page. And I'm very grateful to meet families like this. Why? Besides the obvious. This country has seen something I think it hasn't seen in a long time, since the early days of Jim Crow, where there were attempts to divide us, to separate us. And the strategies that are used are insidious. They don't talk about the N-word or whatever, or us, you know, black people being inferior. They're just code words that are used to keep people separated, to believe that one group is more superior than another group. And that is evil. It is evil. But events like this, a model like this, has the potential to destroy those thoughts. And I'm losing the word that I want to really use. But I really so appreciate you, Bob, and your family for what you're doing. I don't know all of you. I know some of you. But you could all become my friends now. Because I'm very grateful for the presence of such a diverse group of people, a diverse group of thinkers. And I just wish to get to know all of you and more in the future, because I do plan to come back. So you won't have to keep chasing me to New Orleans. Bob said I have 3 minutes, so I'm going to try to make it fast. Because my husband and my daughter and my niece have been calling, because the reality is I don't drive very well at night anymore. So they want me on the road. And this was a far distance to get here, but I'll be back. I'd like to tell you a little bit quickly about my journey. When I retired from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette in 2013, I retired, I was Dean Emerita and Professor Emerita after 26 years at UL Lafayette. And I loved the university. I loved my students and my colleagues. But there's a time when God lets you know it's time to go home. And there were other things that had to be done, like an 80-something-year-old father who was basically on we had to do 100% of his care. He was very ill. And so as a family, we decided, my twin sister, my husband and I, we retired. When he passed, God bless him, when my dear sweet dad passed, I had to do something to keep myself emotionally and mentally strong. And one of the things I did was I volunteered in our local genealogy library room to help people find their ancestors. One of those books I found on the shelf while I was doing this work had to do with the great doctors of Iberia Parish. Another book I found were the great veterans of Iberia Parish. Not one of the people I found were black. When it came to the doctors, not one of the people I found were women. They were all white males. And growing up in New Iberia, I knew this was not true. I grew up a block away from Dr. George W. Diggs' office. I had to pass his office every day to get to my elementary school. But his service was never mentioned. And the man was still alive when this silly self-published book by our medical society came out in the 1960s. But that's the way segregation worked in those days. It was meant to keep us separated. We weren't even supposed to think of each other. So when things were written, the other group didn't exist. And that's horrible. That's a way to keep a community divided. So what I did was I founded a historical society, not just to teach people history, because I was able to uncover documents that people didn't even know existed. Documents that proved that the first woman to actually graduate with a medical degree, first woman, I didn't say black woman, first woman to graduate with a medical degree was Dr. Emma Wakefield in 1897, and she just happened to be black. She also opened the first medical practice in the state of Louisiana in 1897, right after she graduated. but that history was lost. Her father was our state senator. You know, those Reconstruction era black politicians that seem to disappear in the history books? Her father was our state senator from Iberia. I never knew this, but when you do research, you uncover things that were not meant to see the light of day again. Her brother was our clerk of court. And I'm telling you all of this because it's always amazing to me how people can manipulate history, they can manipulate facts for ulterior motives, to keep people separated. So if you think that my people were only slaves, and I'm using the term the way it used to be used, that they were only slaves on plantations, then it might be easier for you to accept that we don't have much value, right? Someone asked me if I'm not angry about some of the things that I've discovered. No, I'm not angry about people today, but I'm angry about the people who are all dead, who fostered these kinds of beliefs and misrepresentations on the public. If I get angry about anyone today, it's those who continue to try to sanitize the history that continue to divide us, because we should know better as a people. And the good thing I've discovered is that there are many people who do know better. Here's the thing that's wonderful for me. When people go to museums like the Shadows, they've gone to the Bayou Teche Museum, there are people now who say, well, where are the black people? They begin to question this history that has been given to them. They want to know, well, what's the story about the blacks in the community? And that's what the Historical Society that we founded does. We do the research, we provide the content to entities like the museum, to the Shadows, because they've rewritten their whole narrative. It focuses now, their narrative now focuses on not just the Weeks family, but the black men, women, and children who gave the Weeks family all that great wealth. Not just their silver and their wonderful china, but those people whose bones lay beneath the ground of those plantations. And that's something, enlightenment is something, it helps to combat ignorance. And it helps people to understand that we are all, as Bob and I talked one day, we're all the same. There's no difference. But if we allow others to separate us, to get in control of our minds, and I know I'm talking to the choir with this group, that's the way it works, is to get people to be separated and to think that everyone is different. A good friend of mine just recently told me about a conversation she had, and I'm going to shut up after this, Bob. She had because she's white, these groups of people that were gathered thought it was safe to talk about things the way they wanted to. And it was about a development that was coming up. And this one person said they didn't want the development because those people don't look like us, they don't think like us, they don't dress like us, they don't speak like us. And he was talking about black people moving into this development. And I'm thinking, this is 2023. And we still have people like that. But guess what? I don't concentrate on people like that because I can't help them. I concentrate on people like you all, because you all are the ones who also go out and you spread the word and you counter the hate. And that's why I plan to come back, because I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you.
Is this yours right here?
Hey, this is yours.
No, that's Gator's.
Hi, is that any better?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm Donna Thibodeaux. My grandmother was a traiteur, a faith healer, and apparently I am too. I work with several of the healing arts, including herbs, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. about 100 years ago, when you got sick, you were likely to be treated with home remedies and plant medicine, other natural remedies, but that was pretty much what there was available to most of the people that weren't really wealthy. And today, 80% of the population of the planet still uses plant medicine. Some because that's all that's available to them, and others because they know it and trust it. Some of these medicines, these healing traditions, teach food as medicine. And that's a pretty interesting concept to feed your body so it will stay well. And I've been asked, where do you even start to learn about herbs? I started at the library. I'd bring home an armful of books, and the ones I liked, I'd order them. But you can start anywhere you want. There's a bed over there with some rosemary, basil, and sage. And between those 3 plants, you can treat about 20 different conditions. And I could probably tell you 15 or 20 different ways to preserve them, to prepare them, to use them. And the sky's the limit. You can start with your food. You can learn, you can pick one plant. If you have basil, learn everything about it, learn all the things you can do with it, and then move on to another one. Another place, okay, I came from a healing tradition, but when my ancestors came over here, they didn't bring their plants with them. And they were from another continent, definitely a different climate. And they learned from the Native Americans. And they were gracious enough to share their knowledge with us, and we wouldn't have survived otherwise. And in one generation, my culture lost its identity. We lost just about everything except the food, and to some degree the music. And we definitely lost all the healing traditions. And I'm going to ask for a favor here. If any of you knows of an herbal person, a healer, that has information on some of these Native American plants, I would love to spend some time with them. Or if there's a book with local plants. I mean, I have plenty of them, but they're from Oklahoma Native American tribes, or, you know, someplace else. And it doesn't really talk about all these plants around this place that you can cure or treat all kind of things with. And the other thing, another way you can learn is from community. Just like our ancestors learned from the Native Americans, we can learn from each other. And this is a beautiful place to do it. And if you want any workshops or talks or walks around to see which plants you can heal kidney stones with and which one's good for memory, talk to Bob. We can do something. I guess that's all I got. Thank y'all.
Good afternoon. Thank you both for allowing me to be here in front of all of you. Thank you everybody for coming today. Really, it's my first time here. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm going to share some personal history between the two persons that spoke before me. I am Cuban. I'm now Cuban American. Good, now I can call it you at home. My second land. But the first time that I came to here, I'm coming from the Havana, Cuba. You know, this is a small town compared with Havana, so quiet. And I was talking to my wife and said, I'm not liking be here. It's too quiet. I don't like it noise, you know, moving all the time. Cuban are so party. We are in party. We're drinking a lot. You know, we are a noisy people. But after 10 years, now it's gonna be 15. I can say this is my home. For sure, this is the most diverse community in the South, the United States. It's a beautiful community, and I have been doing a lot for this community from the beginning. I established the Louisiana's Cuban Club as soon as Obama established the relation with my country. I opened and founding a Espacio Latino Acadiana. Probably some of you listen to the show. It's on Sunday at 5 o'clock, but it's gonna be my guest tomorrow. I also established, founding a Latino radio station for the community, and I'm really working with all groups on the community to unify the community. I believe that everybody's equal, everybody's has the same human being inside. For the behavior of some of them, you cannot divide community. I'm gonna start with this. The first time that I came here, I never crossed Evangeli because all the time I hear, in the other side is the black community, they're gonna stealing you, they're gonna killing you, blah, blah, blah. And for a year, I never crossed that Evangeli. I was scared to know in the other side. One time, my daughter needed a dental assistant for some problem. And the only doctor that was available was in the north side. We went over there, we know the doctor, beautiful doctor. For about 6 years, she was the dentist for my daughter. And I started more frequently visiting the north side of Lafayette, until my business now is in the north side. The guy, like I call him my black daddy, is the manager of the building that I have my business. That guy helping me to get in the radio station for the Latino community. He paid me trip to go to Texas, to Washington, to talk to government agency and talking about the necessity of the radio station for the community here. And he helping me to get in that radio station. I call him my dad. But the funny part is, when I start to be together, black people in the other side was telling him, why you are with this guy? He's not from our community. And he told me, you are afraid to be with us? And I shared it with him. I grew up in both sides. We saw different. My mom is white, my dad is black. And I grew up in the middle. I not see difference between my two sides of my family. When I came here, I was acting the same. I knew the bit different that the doctor was talking before. And this is what I say, okay, we need to bring that kind of unity, because the problem that the United States still face between that division in Cuba was gone 60 years ago. When everybody come on together, everybody has the same right in the country, and we stop to define people for the color of the skin. I learning later that the best way that you can define people is for their behavior to other people. This is what I came to this country working for the community, made me really the person that I am now, but I'm so happy to be here in this diverse community. Now I'm working in two projects. One is building a business line between Morgan City and Havana, Cuba, to helping my family, my country, most as I can. And it's almost done. It's a few pieces that I had to put together to open that line. And the second one is to start to create the Cuban Cajuns. Is to show people that is the legacy that I wanted to, and I put it, the Cuban Creoles and Creole. They're to not leaving anybody behind. is to the legacy that I wanted to leave to my children and make them feel like this is home beside from where I come from, that is my Cuba. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Lost my assistant. My daughter.
Okay, that's all right.
It's from inside there.
No, I mean, I'm just going to be bad, but,
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
My name's Phanat Xanamane. I'm gonna need some coffee. It's been a long day for me. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually running for state senate in District 22, and so that's why it's been a long day. Early voting ended today. Who went out to early vote? Show of hands. Okay, half of the people. All right. Well, election day is October 14th, so you guys remember to go out there and vote. Let's see. Yeah, my life, depending on where you start in my life, I have many different stories and many origins, but I guess I can start. What I like to talk about today for 3 minutes is just what I saw today or for the past week with early voting. My name's Phanat, and I'm named after the refugee camp that I was born in Thailand. My parents were Lao refugees that crossed over to Thailand in the late 70s, and got settled in this refugee camp where I was born. And soon after I was born, we were processed to come to the United States and settled here in southern Louisiana. And during the campaign trail, I've talked a lot about the American dream and southern Louisiana being where our family's American dream took root. And so, and for me, it's just an inspiring story, and why I'm a big part of why I'm running to start to revive and rebuild the American dream for everyone in our district and in our state. I got this book called Finding American by an author named Colin Boyd Schaefer. He's a photographer, and he actually visited me in, I think it was 2016, and the book finally got published and arrived in my mailbox yesterday. And it basically chronicles his travels through the United States, visiting each of the 50 states and talking to immigrants from all around the world in each of those states. And when he visited Louisiana, he found an immigrant from Laos, me, to speak to. And I love the title, and I love how the book is sort of a sort of parallels what's happening tonight. It sort of threads together the story, the American narrative. And what I'm seeing tonight with all the guests that I've seen so far, it's the same thing. We're just starting to stitch together our collective story of what it means to be from this country and make this sort of beautiful tapestry. And you know, I really love that about living in this country and the diversity, and just within our district, just the diversity. I mean, we have Latinos. We had a wonderful dinner the other night with Bob and at a local Thai restaurant, and there was people from Africa and the Middle East and Oman and Laos and Thailand and where else? It was like all over the place. And it's just such a beautiful diversity. But what I saw today from my community that really inspired me and was a big moment of such joy for me was seeing the Laotian community come out to vote. Many for the first time ever. Many people that have gotten their citizenships for a few decades. Yeah. And one woman in particular, she was in her late 70s, and it was even though she's been a citizen now since for like 25 years, she never voted before, and when she learned that I was running, she saw herself being represented. And for the Laotian community and the Laotian village that's not too far from here, actually, it's a big, beautiful Buddhist temple out there in Koto, in the western edge of Iberia Parish. And seeing how so many of these Laotian immigrants, and knowing about their stories of coming to this country, and then seeing one of their own step up to the plate to offer them representation, and them being so enthusiastic and inspired by that to get registered for the first time, and then go to the courthouse and vote. And I had to help. We had a team of volunteers that went out to help them with translating and pressing the buttons and everything. A lot of them were completely clueless and very intimidated by the process, and we just showed them how easy it was. It was just such a beautiful sight, and I wanted to just share that as this special moment, and I'll remember this day forever. And this is a great way in this day to come sort of full circle and talk about finding America, how we all can sort of find American within ourselves, within our communities, and through events like this and building new communities. So that's all.
Oh.
If anyone wants to look through the book, I'll have it with me over there.
All right.
My name is Jennifer Jimenez. I am Mexican American. Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Bob and Dee Dee. Oh, okay. I don't do this, so. I'd like to thank Bob and Dee Dee for having us here. I do think that it makes me feel good that he would invite us here just for us to share our story. Like I said, I am Mexican American. My family originates from Mexico, Chihuahua, New Mexico, or Chihuahua, Mexico. They came to the United States for work, a lot of farming. They ended up in Colorado City doing a lot of, like I said, farming. From there, we expanded to West Texas. So I'm originally from West Texas. My family, my kids, my grandkids were all West Texas. I am very proud of that I am Hispanic. I was a teacher. I did a lot of, I did teaching for 16 years down in West Texas. I did want to get into a bilingual type of teaching, but I just kind of got out of the school system and got in the oil and gas industry. But anyways, yeah, we're here because we wanted to talk about our relationship and how we met. I do have biracial kids. I have 3 kids. I have 6 grandkids. They're all biracial. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm originally from West Texas. I moved here 3 years ago. It was a culture shock for me coming here. From the food to the just amazing people being so nice and loving and everything like that. Like, I don't ever want to go home. I want to stay here. I do wish that my kids would follow me, but they have their own families, careers down there. But yeah, like I said, coming down here, amazing food. I do have to bring home some food sometimes from West Texas because I know you guys don't have it around here, but that's okay because I do go home often. But basically that's it. Well, not that's it. We actually met in West Texas, and I'll kind of let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself.
Looks like my baby's a great speaker.
Sorry.
Look, hello everyone. I don't do this often, like never, so I'm winging it here. My baby did a good job. My name is Wesley Alexander. I'm from Maurice, Louisiana. I identify as Black Creole. I met Jennifer 5 years ago in West Texas. I like to thank Bob and Cafe Daytime. Daytime. All right. I try to work on it, but I'm winging it, like I said. Yeah, I met Jennifer 5 years ago. Went out there for work, and it was a culture shock. Like she was saying, piggybacking on the food. I'm used to waking up in the morning and going to a convenience store and get a link of boudin or something. And over there was burritos and tacos. So I was like, hey man, where's the boudin? Like, what is that? So growing up, I grew up around my grandparents. Basically my grandfather and my great uncles, and they would always kick the breeze outside. And they sit around speaking French, and I always knew they were talking about me because they looking at me. And I started picking up words, but I can't speak it fluently, but I know some of the words. So when I got to West Texas, it was a culture shock because I'd never been around Hispanics before. So everything was a little different. And it opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, especially when we started our relationship. Just growing up, it was kind of like a little taboo around this area. And we're making it work. I'm proud of our relationship. I'm proud of our relationship, and I'm proud of where we're at because a lot of people can't make it through these type of situations with everything that's going on in the world. So this is pretty much all I got. Like I said, I'm winging it here. I like to thank Bob. And that's pretty much our story. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right, round of applause for all of our speakers. Amazing. We live in a wonderful place. I love this place. A couple quick things. Phanat was up here. We did I think, a great podcast. If y'all want to join the cafe, I wish you would. CafeDetentLA.com. That's this right here. Take a picture. Do me a favor. I'm okay with words, with names. I'm a lot better with photographs. So if y'all can put y'all photographs in your profile, say a few things, and we're gonna try to get y'all into some cool things and mix in some really good crowds and match the events with it. Also, did I just mention this? Phanat and I did a great podcast. Did I say that already? Okay. All right. But I was saying, that's how you get to it. Become a member, get to it, or get on.
I teared up a little bit when Smurf was talking. If you know me, I cry very easily. But I just wanna plug our social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. If you post pictures, please tag us. Please share with your friends when we have events. Invite everyone out so we can build this beautiful community. Hopefully you had a good time. It's not over yet. We have more music to come. We still have red beans and rice. We have wonderful coffee inside. Please go reach out to the people who talk. That's what this is all about. Reach out to their families and friends that came with us and meet someone new that you never would have met before if we wouldn't have joined together at the Cafe Détente. So I hope you had a good time. It's not over. We have more music coming up. Like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, tag us in all your photos. Thank you.
All right, Ray, all you, babe.
Talking to you.
You chain of fools. How does this last part go? Now one of these days, the chain is gonna break. But up until then, child, I'ma take all I can take. Hey, said chain, chain, chain. I'ma dance for y'all. Yeah. Said chain, chain, chain. Yeah. Said chain, 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 chain of fools. Yeah. Yeah, chain, chain, chain. Yeah. Chain, chain, chain. Yeah, chain, 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 chain of fools. Yeah. R.I.P. Aretha Franklin.
Be my Tina. I want you. Be my Tina. Tell me the truth. Ain't you my Tina? When you hug me. Oh, it's sweet. When you kiss me, baby. Oh, no, Jesus. Tell me the truth. You my teen, I knew.
Ah, there you go.
Tell me. Tell me, baby, what have I done wrong? Whoa, tell me, pretty baby, what have I done wrong? Get all your act together, bring your fine self home. I give you money, baby, each and every day. Whoa, tell you money, pretty baby, each and every day. You go down to Cafe de Tonton, all the night away.